at work as well. But let me just welcome you onto tonight's mindset call, which is very simple, guys. It is entitled, one word, action. Someone write that in the chat box. Action, 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 action. It's go time. There's 2 more months left of this year, and we need to take massive action. Yes, we've been working on, the past hurts, and we've been working on some of the things that we have to overcome, and we've been working on dealing with obstacles, and we've been working on all this stuff. But the bottom line is, guys, the bottom line is without action, nothing happens. Some of you write that down on your piece of paper. I know that we come here with our notebooks and pens and we are ready to take massive action, but without action, nothing happens. How many of you right now know you need to take more action? You need to turn up on the action that you're currently taking for your business, for yourself, for your relationship, for your life. It is time to take action, guys. We still have 2 more months to close out this year with the goals that we have set for ourselves. But I come here today to tell you guys the message may not be what you want to hear tonight, but I wouldn't be doing you any justice if I didn't give you the hardcore facts right now and tell you to take massive action. Because if you don't take action, nothing is going to happen. In fact, I want to give you one instruction right now to share the link inside a group chat, share the link to somebody that you know and say, listen, Nikki is going off. You need to get on this call, okay? Because we're gonna chop it up. Some people are gonna get delivered tonight. Some people are gonna hear a word tonight that's gonna boost them into action. Somebody on this call needs to hear the words that I'm gonna be sharing with you tonight. We've been talking last week. We spoke about last week, guys, how there was gonna be some testimonies, how there was gonna be some big moves happening, how there was going to be some situations coming across that we need to step into to be able to take forward what it is that we have aligned for us. But sometimes we fail to take action. Sometimes we fail to step forward and do what it is that we need to do. Now, I don't know about you, but I've been self-reflecting. I've been thinking about why is it sometimes that we don't take action? Nikki, why is it sometimes that you don't take action? You know what you need to do. You know the things that you need to do. You know who you need to speak to. You know where you need to go. You know what it is that you need to do. But why is it sometimes that the action doesn't follow what it is that's happening on the inside, that's happening inside? What is it? And I want you to ask yourself the same question. Why is it that I'm not taking the action that I know that I need to take? Why is it that I'm not doing what it is? I was speaking to my amazing cousin today, and we were having this conversation around, a relationship issue that my cousin was having. And very simply, it was, in order to solve it, their partner just needed an apology. And I said, well, did you give the apology? No, I didn't. Why not? Because I'm just being stubborn. I said, look, you know the action that you need to take. You know what it is that you need to do, but why are you not doing it? You see, when you don't do the action, you're prolonging, you're delaying the pain for your own self because of a stubbornness not to take action. Because of a humility issue. Maybe there's a conversation that needs to be had, but because of the pride or because of the ego, you don't want to have that conversation. Or because it may mean that giving up the right or giving up being the one in the right. Sometimes you got to give up to go up. How many of you know that sometimes in order to get through the door, sometimes you have to let go of the point-proving exercises. Sometimes you have to be honest and transparent to yourself and say, actually, I see the bigger picture here. I need to stop playing around small and stop playing small, but I need to make sure that I'm taking massive action. I got to step up. Sometimes I got to let go of certain things in order to go forward. Some of you are holding on too much to the old. Some of you are clinging on to the old so much that you don't want to move forward, and that's what's stopping you from getting the results that you desire. How many of you on this call right now know that there's something that you've been procrastinating on, something that you know you should be doing and you haven't yet done it? Put a 777 in the chat box. Because until we get clarity on this, ladies and gents, we ain't going to do nothing. I want you to think right now on that one thing that you know that you've been playing around on, that one thing that you know you need to do and you haven't yet done it. That you're going to schedule some time to make sure that not only you do it, but you do it on a consistent basis. You get into the habit of evaluating yourself, looking at yourself and saying, hey, hey, I don't want to stay like this no more. Some of you on this call have financial situations. Some of you on this call are in a situation where you're like, hey, I'm tired of my financial situation. Some of you on this call have been living in a situation for far too long. Some of you have been in a financial situation for such a long time that you've almost become immune to it. You've almost become friends with that situation. But we need to set some goals today, ladies and gents. We need to take some action today, ladies and gents, and take a look at ourselves and say, what is it that I actually need to do now? It's coming to the end of the year, and this is normally where people do one of two things. Unsuccessful people normally do one of two things. Number one, they throw in the towel and start saying, okay, I'll start afresh next year. Or number two, they become in a pity party situation. They begin telling themselves that they can't do it. They begin telling themselves that it's too hard. They begin starting to change what it is that they said that they wanted long before this moment in time came. And I want to remind you today, that you are worth achieving what it is that you said. Do you know what I want to ask you today? How many of you, we always talk about, you know, friends that break our trust, that friends that don't say what they mean and don't mean what they say, and relationships that break down because people lie to us and people do this and that and that. But how many of you don't even honor what you say to yourself? How many of you don't even fulfill the promise that you made to yourself? And we become in a situation of pity. And we start feeling sorry for ourselves. We start feeling bad for ourselves. We start saying things to ourselves like, yo, I should be so much further ahead. But what are the actions saying about that? Are your actions that you're taking on a daily basis saying that you should be further ahead? Is your mindset in a position to tell you that the way that your mind is thinking? Now, we know that as a man thinks, so is he, ladies and gents. And so what is it that you're putting into your mind every single day that is enabling you to fulfill the purpose, the goals, the actions that you want for your life? I ask you this, we talk about our senses. What are you exposing your senses to? Every single day, what are you seeing, tasting, touching, hearing? How many of you have your goal card that you look at, that you see your goals every single day? You're looking at them. How many of you have been hearing me say this for the last how many years? Print off these goals, have them around you, and you still haven't done it yet. How many of you know that you need to get this stuff done? How many of you know that it's time to take action now? Too much mouth water. You know what I see a lot of unsuccessful people do? They chat too much talk, and no action. How many of you have heard those people that talk, give promise after promise after promise after promise, and when you look, they still ain't done what they said they were going to do? This is not the time to give the mouth water. This is the time to take massive action. It's time to stop with the chatting, the bag of chattings every minute. Chat. People ask you, how are you doing? I'm doing fantastic. When deep down, you ain't doing fantastic. Deep down, you're struggling. Deep down, you're fed up. Deep down, you're tired. But the reason why you're tired is because of what you're exposing your senses to. So your senses are being exposed to tired people, to tired situations, to tired things. And you want to get your senses around things that's exciting, your senses around things that's motivating, your senses around inspirational situations. But sometimes we listen to ourselves, ladies and gents, and I'm guilty of this. Now, we already know that we have taken so far. So if we keep listening to ourselves, then ourself is only going to take us too far. We got to get into the habit of taking action, taking advice from people that have the results that we desire. Now, this is going to be uncomfortable. I'm going to be honest with you. It's going to be uncomfortable. But there has to be a time when you say enough is enough. There has to be a time when you look yourself in the mirror, where you say to yourself, I'm not transitioning into the following year doing the same things that I'm doing now. You see, you can really tell. You can really tell a person by the habits that they have, ladies and gents. What are your habits? What are your daily habits? What time do you wake up? Who are the people that you resonate with to talk to on a daily basis? What's your exercise regime like? What are you eating on a daily basis? What's the daily methods of operation that you have as a minimum standard in your life? What are the things that you are doing daily? Because your daily habits is what's going to form the lifestyle that you have right now. Your daily habits is what's going to form the type of relationships that you have, whether they are toxic relationships or whether they are positive relationships. What are the daily habits that you have? Do you have a habit of impatience? Do you know that if you're impatient with everything, some people, they say, yes, so they're going to start something today. And within a week, they're tired of it and they're going to do something else. And then within another week, they're going to, listen, impatience is something that some of us have to curve our minds away from. Some of us have to build the muscle, the resilience. The muscle of resilience so that we're able to sustain and maintain long-term longevity. Let me tell you this, nothing that you do, nothing is going to be an overnight success. It's just not going to happen. Even if you won the lottery, I'll tell you this, if your muscle is not built for it, that money will be gone within 2 years. It will be finished. Because there has to be a process. You've got to go through the process, building that muscle to be able to get to the position where it is that you want to go. But here's the thing, guys. Your quality control has to be high. Do you let any and anything in your life? Do you allow yourself to have any and any standards? Do you give yourself a pat on the back for doing half? Most of you on this call are entrepreneurs, and I want to just be honest with you. A lot of us, we read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. I think I got it over here somewhere. We read it so many times, but some of us haven't shifted the mindset to the concepts of what's going on the inside of that book. Because we talk about the 95% and, you know, the working mentality that you exchange your time for money. But when you're an entrepreneur, you don't exchange your time for money. You don't get paid for your time. You get paid for your results. And so some of you are working and you're like, yo, I've been working for 5 hours, 6 hours. I've been doing this for 2 months. You don't get paid in the entrepreneurial business for the time that you spend. You get paid in the entrepreneurial business for your results. Now, you want to get paid for your time, you do 9 to 5. You want to get paid for your time, you do a contracted situation and you get paid for that time. But guess what? Those that get paid by time, they get paid the least. So if you're an entrepreneur, you got to build the muscle and understand that you're not getting paid for your time, you're getting paid for the result. So if it means you got to make 20 calls until you get the one result, that's what you're going to do. But some of us, we have the mindset, the employee mindset that says, I've been doing this for 2 months. I've been doing this for 5 hours. I've been doing this for 6 hours. And that's not how it works in the entrepreneurial lane, ladies and gents. It doesn't work like that. You get paid for your results. And so how do you ensure that you get better results over the time that you invest? That is by growing your skill set. And how do you grow your skill set? You grow your skill set by being in the field. You grow your skill set by putting the work in. You grow your skill set by making sure that you are studying those that you aspire to be like, and you do what they do. How is it that those individuals that you're looking at as role models, how is it that they move? What is it that they're doing on a daily basis? What calls are they having? What do they post on their social media? You know, I've been saying this for the last 4 years, 10 stories a day. If I look at somebody's page and I see they ain't got 10 stories, I know they ain't serious about their online business. It's just a standard for me. Now, no matter how much I say this, there's mentees of mine that's been with me for the past 4 years. They still will not put the muscle in to make sure that they have 10 stories a day. Now, you got to want it, ladies and gents. And you have to make a decision that this is something that you want. If you are building a business, you must be open. Now, these days, most people, minus today, where there was a short situation with Instagram, right? But most people that are building businesses online, you have to be open. Instagram lives, you got to be open. Oh, Nikki, but I'm shy. I'm not a good talker. Well, how do you build the muscle of how do you get the skill? How do you build that muscle? You build that muscle by just doing it. You got to just do it in this season. You got to take massive action in this season. Otherwise, you're going to transition into a new year and be one of those girls like, yeah, new year, new me. And by January, it's the same old, same old. It's the same old, same old. We don't want no same old situations going on over here no more. We don't want the same old, same old, same old, same old. Same old is not what we're not playing for same old, same old. I don't know if there's anyone on this call that's playing for same old, but same old ain't same old. Same old. We had this conversation a couple of weeks ago with some of the leaders that I'm working with. And I said, listen, in 2022, if you don't have a ring light, if you're on social media and you look black, okay, and I don't mean your skin color, I mean the whole thing is black because you have no ring light. What are you doing? You're not taking your business seriously. Gone are the days where you can get away with a black screen. Gone are the days where you can get away with low quality pictures. Like, this is the new era now. You got to move with yourself. You got to get yourself in motion and stop expecting to have mediocre results. This is not that time anymore, Sherna. It's not that time. I remember when I first started online business 5 years ago, it was okay. We could get away with it now, but the price is too high now. The standards are raised now. And so in 2022, if you don't have a ring light and you're saying you're setting up an online business and you don't have a ring light, a basic ring light, I mean, it's not gonna, you don't have to mortgage your house to be able to purchase one on Amazon, right? But we're at a stage right now where there's certain levels, there's certain standards that we need to just make sure that we break through. Because if you want to get out into the entrepreneurial world and you want to get yourself into a position to really win big, you have to invest in yourself. You have to invest in yourself. You don't get nothing for nothing these days. And most of the time, the things that you may get free, they're going to sell you back in anyway. Have you ever heard those adverts? Come to this free webinar, come to this free course, come to this free this and free that. And by the time you get there, they're telling you, right, okay, sign up to our course, it's £20,000, or sign up to this for 50. Most of the things that they're saying are free are not really free. And so if you really want to take the next level, I urge you to take a look at the actions that you're taking place. How are you showing up professionally? What is it about what your goal is that you need to do that doesn't require anybody else's input, anybody else's time or money, but you can take responsibility of that now and say, I need to get this done. Guys, I'll be transparent with you. I've had a letter that I was supposed to respond to for at least 3 weeks now. And I sat down and I said, I need to do it today. I can't, and it's not difficult. It's just making sure that it happens. And most of these things, we know how to do it, but we just don't make sure it happens. And so what is it that you need to do that's going to help you transition? The first thing you've got to decide is what you want from now until the end of the year. What is it that you're going to achieve from now until the end of the year? Because procrastination isn't going to help you do that. Who is it that you need to work with in order to get that goal done? Who are the people that can assist you? Who are the people that you may have to serve? What are those things, those key things that you have to do that's taking massive action? And every time I do this question, I normally get people in the chat saying, no more procrastination, work harder. That means absolutely nothing. What are the specific, tangible things that you are going to take responsibility for? And I knew this call, guys, was not going to be the ones where I get all the flames in the chat. I know it because it hurts. It stings when we have to review ourselves, but I would hate for you to get to January and you start this process all over again. And then we're here in a cycle going round and round and round and round and round. What are the benefits of you taking massive action? What are the benefits of you being strategic with the action that you are going to take? You're going to feel less anxiety. You're going to feel better about yourself. You're going to build more confidence, which ironically is going to help you to take even more action. How many of you set out to do something and you don't do it, and then you feel so bad about yourself? You feel so bad about your situation. You go to bed stressed. You don't even want to eat dinner because you're so stressed about not doing what it is that you said you were going to do. Well, how about we reverse engineer it and say, actually, I'm going to do something. Someone in the chat type for me, I can. Because each and every one of us can do more. We can do better. There's certain things on that journey of action that I'm going to say to you right now that we got to stop doing. We got to cut out completely. We got to rip. We got to completely kill if we want to be able to be in a position to take action. And I am going to go there, guys. I am going to go there. Personal development is something that we must make sure is done. Personal development. What are you doing every day to personally develop yourself, your skills, your mind? Personal development is something that is so, so important. So important that you get your mind in the right place every single day. Before you start your day, what are you listening to? What's the personal development that you're listening to? Even the music that you're listening to. Is it positive music? Is it music that's going to put you in a good mood? I share this story all the time that when I was down and out and I was on the floor, when my baby father left me, I was listening to the saddest Keisha Cole, Celine Dion, My Heart Will Go On. None of that was helping me. It was making me worse. So what are you listening to on a daily basis that's going to help push you and motivate you and get you going forward? Personal development is so key. You got to have a personal development plan. You got to care about yourself so much. Love yourself so much that you are willing to personally develop. You're willing to invest time into developing yourself every day. What are you seeing every day? These things need to be around you every single day so that it's going to be encouraging you to take massive action. Who are you going to hang around, guys? Who are you going to hang around? Who are the people that you're going to be hanging around? Who are the people that you're going to be hanging around on a daily basis? Who are you going to be talking to? Who are you listening to? Because I tell you this, and I'm just being honest, we are all a product of our environment. If you hang around 5 broke people, you're going to be the 6th broke one. And you got to fight your way into rooms that's going to help you elevate. Fight your way onto call. I never miss an event. I never miss a call that I'm entitled to that's going to help pour into my personal development. If you're sitting around watching Netflix series and you can sit down and say, I've watched this series, that series, that series, that series, I'm just being honest. That's the quickest way to lose. I'm just being honest. It's the quickest way to lose. You know, laziness is the biggest dream killer ever. And you know, sometimes we just have to be honest. Focus. What are you focused on in this season? What is it that you really want? And I didn't come on here to do a social media training, but one of the things that really helps me is when I'm doing social media training and I say to people, what do you want to be remembered for? What do you want to be known for? What's the top 3 things? When I look on your social media page, what are the 3 words that I'm going to be saying about you? What do you want me to say about you? Is it empowerment? Is it mom? Is it finance? What are the 3 words? Go ahead and type the 3 words in. And if you don't know, I challenge you. It's time to figure it out. Don't you dare go into January and you have no idea what you want people to see you as. How do I see you if you don't even know how you want me to see you? How do I see you? How do I respect you if you don't even know how you want me to respect you? I need to know the 3 words. What are the 3 words? If I look at your social media right now, if I meet you in person right now, what are the 3 things I'm going to say about you? What are the 3 things? You can't have a long list. I just want number 3. Just 3 things. Because clarity is something that if you have clarity, all of a sudden, your taking action situation is going to be improved. Because now you know the way that I behave has to be in alignment with those three things. What I post has to be in alignment with those three things. How I speak has to be in alignment with those three things. How I behave, how I react has to be in alignment with those three things. When I'm making a decision onto what to post on my page, I ask myself, does this fit into one of these three categories? As much as I love it, does it fit in? And on occasion, I've had to say, Nikki, you cannot post this. This does not fit in those three things. Every time you speak, does it fit in those three things? Sometimes I'll be driving. Anyone get road rage? And since I challenged myself at the beginning of the year, you know, I haven't had much road rage because I realized that if I react, that's out of character to one of the three things that I want to be recognized for. What are those three things? How does that enhance your brand? Right? It's now time to be intentional about your branding. And I'm not going to do a whole branding session tonight, but we got to be intentional. And part of your branding is whether you do what you say you're going to do. Will someone look at you and say that you are intentional? Will someone look at you and say you are successful? Will someone look at you and say you have integrity? You always do what you say you're going to do. Would someone look at you and say that you take massive action, that you are an action taker? Would somebody look at you and say that? Based on your characteristics, based on how you move, based on how you post, based on your lifestyle, would somebody look at you right now and say that you are an action taker, you are a decision maker? Because so many people are not decision makers. So many people rely on somebody else to decide their life for them. So many people rely on a spouse or a family member or a friend. I had so many people say, well, Nikki, I'll sign up if they sign up. Well, what's them got to do with your future? What does that person's decision on signing up have to do with your future? Are you so codependent on somebody else that you can't make decisions for yourself? Are we going to break free of the shackles and just take massive action in these next 2 months, ladies and gents? I don't know, because I'm ready to start taking some massive action. I put that down a few months ago, and I'm telling you now, it freed me. That I'm no longer going to mess about with myself. I'm no longer going to mess about with my skill set. I'm no longer going to mess about with a gifting on the inside of me. But now I'm going to take massive action towards what it is that I know that I've been called to do. I spoke it, so it has to come to pass. And it doesn't matter what happens outside. It doesn't matter what obstacles or what seems to be the reality. I tell you this, maybe your bank account is a reality right now that you don't want to even accept. But here's the thing, you can change your reality by your actions. You can change your reality. Do you know right now that if your account has zero balance, and you can do hair, you can pick up the phone to 10 individuals and say, I will do your hair for £50. And out of those 10, maybe one of them would say yes, and you would have £50 in your hand. Do you know that an action, a decision to take action can change your situation? But I say to you right now, maybe your ego's too big for that. Maybe you're too lazy to pick up the phone. Maybe it is that you don't believe that you have the gift on the inside of you to actually convince someone to take on the skill set that you have. But a lot of people are so happy and comfortable complaining about the situation, but they don't want to do what it takes to transition, to make that, to make that situation a little bit better. And I'm just using, finances, but there's so many other things. Just like I was explaining about the conversation I was having earlier, that actually, in order to solve that situation, just apologize, make up. Life is too short for you to be having a situation with your spouse in the house. A decision to take action can completely change your situation. We got to drop the ego. This whole pride thing. I remember growing up, my mom used to say to me, don't beg friend. That was the worst advice that she could have said to me. Why? Because I've made the most money. I've had the most freedom by the friends that I've actually reached out to that didn't know who I was. Don't speak to strangers, she said. I've made the most money with strangers. I've had the best peace with strangers. I've been able to relieve some of my past hurts with strangers. It's strangers that's been able to help me. So some of us, the reason why we're not taking massive action is there's some old paradigms that we have to shift. Oh, mommy didn't love me that much. Mommy didn't tell me tell me that she loved me. Mommy didn't give me hugs. That affection wasn't there. So now you don't even love yourself. You don't even know how to love somebody else because mommy didn't show you she didn't show you love. So when somebody extends a hand to you and says, hey, let me show you love, you don't even know how to appreciate it. You don't know how to honor it because guess what? The muscle isn't there to be able to be receptive to when God blesses someone in your life. And so we got to look at some of those traits. We got to look at some of those paradigms and say, hey, look, okay, maybe that was a situation when I was growing up, but I can shift that. I can be open now. I can love. I can trust again. I had a conversation with a lady. She said to me, Nikki, I have no friends. I don't trust people. And I said, I hear you. I hear pain. I hear some old hereditary situations. But if you keep carrying that with every new relationship you have, you repeat the past. And remember, whatever we speak, we actually bring into our future. So if you speak what you seek, you then change the past. And now your present becomes the future that you've been speaking. But if we keep speaking, I don't have friends, I have a small circle, nobody's around me, I don't talk to people, people always let me down, people are untrustworthy. And yes, there will be those types of people. There's a circle, right? There's something called different circles, different levels of trust. And so you have your inner circle, those people that maybe you could share a lot of things with, slightly outer, slightly outer, slightly outer. But you can't go around not trusting no one. You can't go around just having your guard up every minute, because guess what? The same time you're blocking out the haters, you're blocking out the blessings as well. So we've got to get to a place where we're now open and receptive to speaking to new people, to engaging in conversation, to being around those that potentially could help us, and maybe to be around those that we can serve as well. We've got to also stop looking for freebies. Sometimes you have to pay what you pray for. And some of us, we're praying for it, but we ain't willing to pay for it. And so if you want something, sometimes you've got to be able to pay. Let me tell you this, there's only two ways that you can get close to people of worth. And it's by serving them or by paying your way in. You can't get close to people of worth just easy like that. You have to serve or you got to pay your way in. You got to find a way to get yourself in an environment around champions, in an environment around winners, in an environment around successful people. You want to have a better marriage? Be around people that have a good marriage. You want to have a better financial situation? Be around people that have good finances. You want to have better relationship with your children? Be around people that have better relationships with their children. Stop being comfortable, being in your own self, in your own shell, telling yourself, I'm all alone and I can't do this and nobody can help me and I'm in a situation where nothing is going to change. This is how it's always been. Same old. It's better the devil you know. I'm skeptical about everything. Let me tell you this, I don't want to know no devils. I don't want the devil I know. I don't want to know no devils. I don't want no one to tell me about no devils. Okay, I don't want to be around devils. All right, I'm just being honest. I don't want to be same old. It's time for a new thing. It's time for us to start having the right relationships. It's time for us to start manifesting that we will have friends. And sometimes it's not the paradigm. Sometimes it's just straight ego. Sometimes you think you're better than other people. Sometimes you think that, you know everything. And it's time to say, well, actually, I may not know everything and my situation is not where it needs to be. Let me just humble myself. Being humble doesn't mean that nobody's better than you. It just means that you're able to gain the access from somebody who has the results that you desire. Homework tonight, guys, very simple, is I want you to list down some actions that you can do. List down some actions that you can do and go and get them done. Hold yourself accountable to taking massive action. Be somebody of your word. I want you to think of those three things. that you know, that you want, you know, people to talk about you with? What are those 3 things that you want to be known for? I want you to really be intentional about those 3 words. Guys, this is the last call of Overflow October. And I know we have so many testimonies of the overflow that's happened over the last 4 weeks. I myself have a testimony, and I'm so excited for the transition. But that testimony has come from the back of me taking massive action. I want to remind you right now that nothing happens until action is taken. If you don't take action, nothing is going to happen. You've got to take action in this season. Now, this is time where it's 2 months left, 2 months to the year. So it's write down 5 things that you're going to do. You're going to take massive action on specifically. And those 3 words that you want, you know, you want to be seen as, you want to be known for. What are those 3 things? And I'm going to look forward to seeing those of you that are inside the community to put them inside the chat. There is a section inside our community called Mindset Takeaways, okay? So please put it inside the chat there, okay? Tag me in on social media. Let me know that you found value from this session, all right?